And so he is on a bit of a tour, going around some of the churches, and Doris phoned me up and wondered if I would like Julio to speak to us. The answer, of course, is yes! So I'm going to invite Julio to come forward. We have a mic for him, and he's just going to tell us a little bit about his work and his life story in Guatemala. Let me just see the shirt.
It's okay.
Is that on? Okay, we're good.
Sakriti Guanajuato, Subalá, Mucurí, Incochiri y Bucalá. Buenos días a todos, estoy muy feliz por estar aquí con ustedes. Good morning to everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you, sharing a little bit of my journey from Haiti to home. I am from Guatemala, and I think Guatemala is one of the most beautiful countries in the planet, after Canada, of course. Because Canada is such a beautiful country. 60% of the population is still Mayan people. We are the descendants of the Mayan people. Just to show you something about the culture, this is a weaving from the culture. The technique is like 10,000 years old. Materials are new, but we exist still today. And as I mentioned, Guatemala is a beautiful country, but also Guatemala is full of challenges. And it's full of challenges because injustice, oppression, and above all, colonialism. And it's also, we have challenges because from 1960 until 1996, 36 years of cruel civil war, like today in Syria. I don't know exactly what's going on in Syria, but I know there are families, children, affected by that energy of destruction. In the 80s, Guatemala had that moment. Our families were destroyed by the energy of terror. So, because I have short time, I'm not going to explain what's happened. I'm just going to mention some things. Basically, that war in Guatemala was related to the Cold War. The National Army believed that every Maya people were supporting the communists. And at that point, especially during Ronald Reagan administrations, the idea was to stop the communists. So in Guatemala, in order to stop them, they went to kill the Mayan people. So violence affected our families little by little, but in the 80s, this violence reached the point of genocide. So in my personal case, I have many members of my family who were killed. But especially my mom and my mom's side, his older brother was killed. The whole members of the family were killed. I was 16 years old when I had to live through this experience, and I didn't understand what's happened. What I got from that event was hate, because they destroy our peace, they destroy our life, they destroy our communities, and there is no justice. Perpetrators are free, and we are suffering the trauma with no help. So, consequence, we were living through the hate. But today, my message is not the message of hate. Today, my message is a message of hope. So after the whole trauma caused by the violence, and after I was affected directly by staying at my house for 1 year, I didn't go out. I was 16 until 17, and in order to save my life, I hid myself at my house, and for 1 year, I was swallowing this energy of hate. I hated perpetrators because they were controlling my life. But after that, my dad and my mom, they took me out from that town. I escaped the war, and I survived. But the damage was done in my body. So, but what I did was, first, I understand what's happening, who did it and why. But second, I really understand that what is important after the trauma was the healing process. I transformed my own trauma by a healing process. And there are many steps in this process. The first step in my case was to talk about it. And I asked other members of families in my community to talk also about it. So now we have a book. And we call this book Voices Breaking the Silence. It's a big step in a healing process, because if you have a trauma and you don't talk about it, the trauma is controlling your life. Second, share that story. And the most important in this process is to understand that we need a liberation process. And that liberation process comes through a beautiful tool, which is called forgiveness. But it's not easy. It's not easy to forgive an institution who killed your family and still they have power. It's not easy, but it's possible. So I'm working in this healing process. I am using the forgiveness as a practice of life, and it's helping me to be free again. So today, with this feeling, I am sharing this feeling with my people and my community. We have an organization of women, and they are supporting, and they are working also in the healing process. So today, I know that you guys are supporting the families from Syria, and that's a really important step for these families. They need it. They need to feel that not only bad people exist in the planet, they need to know that also there are beautiful people in the planet. So thank you so much for listening to my story. And I'm going to be in the salon. If you want to talk more, we can do, if you have questions. And I would like to show you also the beautiful work that we are doing in my community. Thank you so much, and believe in forgiveness, because it's a tool to liberate ourselves. But still, I'm working on it. Thank you so much.